I'm on the Saddleback campus where I had the privilege of serving for almost a decade with Rick and at Saddleback. It's now been 20 years since then. And before that at Willow. The church leader conference that I went to at Willow Creek was so formative that got me to Willow Creek. But after serving there for 7 years, had the privilege of coming here. Wouldn't be here, have been here if it wasn't for Willow. But church conferences have always been a key catalyst for my own journey and for most church leaders. But it's really been about 36 hours ago. Rick had this place just busting at the seams. Purpose-driven conferences are back. A year ago, he hosted again his first one and had just a huge response. But this time he had like 3,000 people at the latest conference. And as a matter of fact, halfway through, he had kind of a prayer and a renewal time for a whole network of new, kind of purpose-driven coaches, kind of bringing up the next gen and renewing those in their vision and value of purpose-driven. It was so much fun because I got to interview about 100 or so pastors over the course of last year's conference, and you'll see some trailers and things like that, kind of give a little samples of it, to kind of see the buzz that is now happening. I was in Dallas for the first week of the conference, and or the first couple of days of the conference with producing 2 major campaigns for 2 different churches, both of them kind of purpose-driven in their orientation. It was so much fun to help them kind of get ready for the fall. But I came in, got in about 1 in the morning to be able to be here with Rick for the last piece of it. After being in a small group with him for about 15 years, I got here just in time. He's telling the story of the group in the role that it's played in his own life, and ministry. So I crashed back in, saw him, and it was just so much fun to see what God was doing. You could just see his heart pounding out of his chest. It was so much fun. I'm going to take you inside just for a second. You can just get just a little see. They got something inside here that I thought was kind of cool. The theme for the conference, though, was called Hope Renewed. And every pastor needs to have a little hope, kind of renewed in their own journey. And I just thought this was kind of fun. This was kind of how they put it together. And the conference had breakouts like many of the conferences, but it really had an opportunity to be able to minister both to the professional side, or kind of helping people sharpen the saw on really what it means to be a purpose-driven church and how to make that happen, but also kind of that personal renewal, which you kind of see for all conferences that folks go. It's all kind of tore down. They're getting ready for what is going to be Saturday night services. But you see up at the top side over here a big poster, but just the lettering they put up there, kind of talking about your ministry matters. And it was kind of one of the big themes that they had. But Terry Brooks, a guy down in San Diego, had his band up. He's an African-American guy, and the place was just jamming with both the Saddleback crew and theirs. But it was just a really cool time. Anyway, so it's just a great time for myself, my wife, who's on staff here running the Daniel Plan, and she was here, and I've heard a whole bunch of stories. I get a chance to meet with about 7 or so different churches that we're working with and have been working with to try to help them connect their entire congregation and develop what is a curriculum that's could be 4 different volumes that we're kind of helping churches with, and some we're doing 2 or 3, but it's so much fun to see what God's doing in the churches around the country. So anyway, just going to give you a shout out, give you a little taste. Purpose Driven is back in fashion and in full force.